Listen to this. Every day when I get up from work, I feel so frustrated. The boss is a jerk. And I get my sticks and go out through the shed. And I pound the drum like it was the boss is a jerk. I don't want to work. I want to play on the drum all day. I don't want to play. I just want to play on the drum all day. I just play the drum. I don't want to work. I want to play on the drum all day. I don't want to play. I just want to play on the drum all day. I don't want to work. I want to play on the drum all day. You want to dig it, baby? I don't want to play. I just want to play on the drum all day. I don't want to work. I want to play on the drum all day. I don't want to play.
From the Floor Concept Studio, Owensboro's home for news, weather, and sports. 1420 AM WVJS, Owensboro. W225CL Owensboro. 92.9 FM.
W227CO Hamilton.
News now on 92.9 WVJS.
Reporting for Cromwell Media News, I'm Rob Nichols.
Let's go! Yo! Welcome to the Red Devil Rundown. It's your host, Dan Bartlett. Live from Mr. Beast. It's now time for the Red Devil Rundown. It's now time for the Red Devil Rundown. It's now time for the Red Devil Rundown. It's your source for all things red and black. Let's go live from Mr. Beast. Let's go wild. Let's go wild. With the voice of the Red Devils, Dan Bartlett.
And welcome to the Red Devil Rundown, and welcome to March Madness. I don't know what's crazy outside the basketball games that I've already seen or this weather that we are having this week. It is just off to an awesome, great start here. I got to complain. The weather's absolutely beautiful here at Mr. Beast. We've got the door behind us wide open. The sun is shining, and we're going to talk a little bit of things Red Devil tonight. And I was told, listen, we've got to bring a little bit more flair to the show, okay? We got to bring a little bit more spunk to the show on here. So I brought in a couple guests to start it out. You may have seen these girls around before, but they are going to help me out. And I was talking to some administration at the high school, talking to one of the teachers that handles the yearbook, and just a little bit help with journalism out there. And this was a great idea to have you guys come on. I've got Addie and I've got Stella here that you've probably seen before doing a little interviews. You've probably seen them helping out doing a little podcast, I've been told.
Yes.
And I've seen it as well. So girls, I appreciate you guys coming on and talk a little bit about kind of what you've done so far, because I've watched some videos. I like them. I've seen some photography out there. You guys are very talented. Mm-hmm. And I heard you guys can bring a little bit to offer to the table here to the Red Devil Rundown.
Yeah, so the podcast, we are really just based on kind of getting all of the student athletes and students who are in also some extracurricular activities. We want to get their perspective on how things are working in their sports and in their activities. And it's been a really amazing experience. I love being able to do it. I love being able to kind of get a new community, and I know me and Addie, we work hand in hand on it, and it's been great. We've grown closer. I think among the school, a lot of people have grown closer to it, and with photography, I can let you kind of take that because you're the expert.
First of all, I want to thank you for having us on the show.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Opportunity is great for us, and I'm very excited. Leading into the photography aspect of things, I've been doing photography for about 2 years now. It's a great experience. Being involved with the Red Devil community and in the sports community is an amazing experience. Learning and being able to teach other students is just great, and I love everything about it.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys. Stella, I'm going to have you do me a favor. Take that microphone, put it a little bit closer to your mouth there. I want to make sure I get you, just bend it all the way up there. There you go, all the way up there. Perfect.
There we go.
So that way we can hear you perfectly out there. And so, listen, the stuff that you guys are putting out is top-notch, okay? When I was in high school, especially being a sophomore and a junior, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the stuff that I was putting out looks like garbage to what you guys are doing, okay? I know technology's changed, and I know there's so much more out there to offer. But the stuff you guys are putting out is really, really good. And I know your teacher was bragging on you guys. He said, listen, I think you guys, we could bring you on, have you guys partner up with the Red Devil Rundown, and it's a phenomenal idea. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us. This is really cool.
So you may see him on from some shows, and not only do we have the girls up here, we have Liam Dominguez is also helping us out. He's going to be helping us out and run a little production, helping us out with cameras, and we got to start somewhere because we got to keep building it. We got to offer some different things. So you may see more cameras being added in the future. You may see some different elements to it. I'm excited. It just takes more hands, and we've got some high school students, some Red Devil high school students that are excited to help us out with that, with the Red Devil Rundown. Now, girls, this is my favorite part of the show. Okay, the favorite part of the show, we get what we call the rundown, where we kind of run down everything that's happened in Red Devil since our last show, which was last Thursday. And we're going to kind of take, I got the notes in front of you guys, so you may already know some of these things. We want to let everybody know what's happened, because if you blink, okay, there's so much stuff that happens at the high school there, especially in the sports and different events out there, that I want to make sure that everyone knows what's going on. And tonight's show is all about honoring the kids that made a huge difference at state. We're going to talk about the wrestling team, Cam Klein, who should be on the show today. We're going to talk about his performance at the state level. We're going to talk about girls indoor track and what they've done. We've got Coach here to talk about what they've done, and then we're also going to talk a little about swimming. Now, I know Ethan Lippert cannot join us for tonight's show. Why? Because he's so talented. Right now he's traveling for the USA Swimming State Meet down there. So we're going to talk a little bit about his journey all the way up to the state swim meet there. We highlighted it last week, but just some overall outstanding performances. But before we do that, let's do the rundown. And we are going to start with something maybe, girls, you don't know much about, and I would love to talk to you about it. It's our robotics team from OIA, okay? They competed, and they just got back today from a trip. They've been in Omaha, Nebraska, Council Bluff, Iowa, for the U.S. Open. Wow. And so there was 2 teams from Kentucky that were selected to go to this thing, and one of them was the Astral Sage team from OIA. They traveled all the way to Council Bluff, Iowa to compete in the U.S. Open robotics thing. Now, have you ever seen a robotics tournament?
I have not.
I have. I mean, I went to that middle school, and I got to have a little bit of a sneak peek during an intro to the class. It's
really cool. It's above anything that I possibly can do. Okay, these kids are blowing me out. I can work on some cute computers. They're building full-on robots that are racing out there and competing. So a lot of people last week, when we had the robotics team on the Red Devil Rundown, they were kind of curious of what it is. It's a sport. It really is a sport where they have to compete against other teams. Now, the U.S. Open is basically what it sounds like. There is teams from all over the United States. I believe that there was 41 states represented at this one and 18 different countries that were represented at Council Bluff there at this U.S. Open. And the OIA robotics team showed up. They finished day one on Tuesday. They finished day one with a record of 6-3. And on day 2, they finished with a record of 2-3. To finish out, they had a total of 7-6. And they made it the farthest, I believe, that anyone else has ever made. They made it to the tournament. Just to make it to this tournament is big news. And they got selected. They actually finished the tournament, or finished the qualifying rounds in 16th place, which guaranteed them pretty much a spot in the tournament. Unfortunately, they lost in the first round of the tournament in a heartbreaking loss. And just congratulations to them. Girls, if you ever get a chance to go watch a robotics tournament, I know that OIA will host one around the holidays. Their season's done. It's completely over with now. But when the fall comes back around, when we get ready for the winter season sports, you need to go check out robotics.
I'll definitely keep
it is really cool because there's so much that takes place to it. Me being a sports junkie, being just a sports nut that it is, I just fell in love with it. Now, granted, my son's on the team, all right? So, yes, I did. That's a little biased on that one there. So, he is on the robotics team. I had a blast out there. It was cold, though, okay? It was absolutely cold. That wind coming across Iowa and Nebraska there was absolutely frigid. And then you wake up Wednesday and it's 70 degrees. Welcome to March Madness. Yeah. So congratulations to Miss Gray and the robotics team on an outstanding season. Man, something to be proud of, and I'm looking forward to next year as they continue to build on that. Lacrosse. What do you know about lacrosse, girls?
Well, it says here right on the rundown that we've had no action since last show, and we are 0-2 on the season, and next game is Tuesday at Greenwood.
Is that boys or girls?
Boys lacrosse.
Okay, so
Go check that out.
Boys lacrosse, they got a really young season, a really young team out there. They're developing. It's a young program. So, yes, we're 0-2 on the season, but we've had some tough competitions going up the likes of some very established programs. So, give them a chance. Give them a little grace there. They're learning. They're building the program. You've got some really young athletes out there that are eager to learn the sport, but it's kind of easy to report when they don't have any action since last week.
Yeah.
Still 0-2 on the season. Next game next Tuesday against Greenwood at Greenwood, and then the girls. Addie, tell us a little bit about the girls lacrosse action.
Again, with the girls, there was no action since our last show. They are 1-3 on their season, and their next game is next Thursday versus Gibson Southern in Fort Branch, Indiana.
Something on my radar. I've got to call a lacrosse game. Okay? I've never called a lacrosse game ever. I got another confession. I never watched a lacrosse game. So I owe it to the kids on the lacrosse team. I've got to go. I've seen highlights on television before, but I've never really watched an actual lacrosse game. So I'm going to go find one of those. So we've got to get a game on there. And I told them by the end of the season, I'm going to call at least one game before the season's over. Tennis. Yeah. Now, here's something I know all about here. Not much, but I'll just pretend I do. Girls tennis. What about, Stella? Tell me about girls tennis there.
Girls tennis is 2-1 on the season. They swept Muhlenberg County last week, and they are in action right now against Davis County.
Yeah, they are in action right now. Boys and girls are in action against Davis County. Tell me about the boys tennis there, Addie.
Our boys tennis is, we believe, 3-0 on the season. They have wins over Ohio County, Muhlenberg County, and South Warren. And as said, they are currently in action against Davis County as well.
Yeah, so we'll get some action in there. We are actually going to have the girls tennis. I know that they're scheduled to be on the Red Devil Rundown in the near future. I know we got some big shows that are coming up, so I know that they are going to be on the show coming up. We've got softball. It's going to be on there. We got a lot of great teams that are coming up, and so I look forward to having the tennis teams on there. Speaking of softball, they opened their season last night against Henderson County, and here's the thing. Henderson County's a juggernaut. Okay? They are an absolute powerhouse, and to open our season, it will be a loss for the Lady Devils. Haley Sykes gets the only 2 hits for the Lady Devils. Riley Scott goes 4 innings. She strikes out 6, walks 3, gives up 7 runs on 9 hits. The Lady Devils are in action, I believe. No, they're not in action, right? I thought they had a game tonight. But the Lady Devils will open up their season with a loss there, and we'll bring you more action from them next week. And then baseball. I like this one here. Girls, tell me about baseball.
So actually last night we had an opening day win. For our first game, we got 5-3 over Breckenridge County, and Nash Miller went in for 5 innings. He had 3 runs on 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, and no walks. And Jackson Fogel, yeah, I know. Jackson Fogel had a 6-out save with 0 hits, 0 walks, and 1K. It says
Way
right there.
to start the season for the Devils as Nash Miller takes the mound, goes 5 innings. That's huge. Gives up that 3 runs on 3 hits, but 6 strikeouts and no walks for the senior. Jackson Fogel, a 6-out save, and that is huge. So well done. And then on the offensive side, Eli Hampton does what Eli does. 2 for 3 with a double, 3 RBIs. Jordan Quiswell also goes 2 for 3, and Ty Ashley contributes with an RBI and a huge opening season win for the Red Devils. They're going to have their work cut out for them this season. But some big news when they start the season off right with a win. They are in action right now against Butler County. So we'll be able to bring you that action, tell you all about it at the next Red Devil Rundown. In fact, I do believe that we'll be starting to call some baseball games next week. I think we're scheduled to head to McLean to call the game at McLean. A little Red Devil action there. So that is our rundown, girls. A lot of action takes place in 1 week. That is. So, girls, I appreciate you joining me. We're going to have a lot of fun having you guys come on when you're available. Listen, I'm probably already getting text right now, okay? They're probably like, listen, Dan, whatever you do, keep them on the show. Just having me on the show is not really good to look at, all right? So having you girls on here makes it all better, so I appreciate it. And you bring a lot of talent.
Thank you so much.
I do appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to break down some talk with some state title games or some state title matches from some Red Devil athletes. We'll be right back here on the Red Devil Rundown.
When you're looking for the perfect place to eat, drink, and have a blast, head to Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Owensboro. Dive into hot, fresh-made pizzas, bold wings, and all your favorite game day classics. And now, take the fun even further at Club 18 Golf, the indoor golf experience right inside Mr. B's. Bring your friends, book a bay, and swing through world-famous courses while enjoying great food and cold drinks. It's the ultimate night out with great eats, great swings, all under one roof. Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Club 18 Golf, right on Highland Point Drive, where Owensboro comes to play.
Hi, I'm Zach Chow, Madisonville Maroon and current Kentucky Wildcat basketball player.
And I'm Chris Rhodes, injury attorney.
Growing up in Madisonville, I dreamed about playing in Rupp Arena, but I didn't get recruited, didn't have guarantees, but I kept showing up.
A lot of our injured clients feel that same way, trying to push forward, feeling like everything is stacked against them.
But when people believe in you, everything changes.
That's what we do here. We stand beside you every step of the way.
Roads and Roads.
We've got your back.
Did you know March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month? Here is Owensboro Health's Dr. Stephen Eds.
Did you know that colorectal cancer is one of the most preventable and most treatable types of cancer when it's caught early? Unfortunately, nearly 1 in 3 adults age 45 and older in the United States is not up to date on colorectal cancer screening. At Owensboro Health, we're here to make screening easy and accessible. If you're due for a colorectal cancer screening, talk with your primary care provider.
Learn more at owensborohealth.org/colon cancer.
Hey y'all, it's Kellyanne Harris with the Harris Group at Keller Williams Elite Realty. As a proud sports mom, I know what it takes to show up, stay focused, and deliver results on the field and in real estate. That's why we're offering our Guaranteed Cash Offer program. We guarantee to get your home sold or we'll buy it. For all your real estate needs, trust the Harris Group. We're always ready to go to work for you. Call us today at 270-929-5857 for the details.
Hi, I'm Zachary Clark with the Greater Owensboro Realty Company. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading to your dream space, or selling and looking for the right price, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. With proven results, local market knowledge, and real commitment to my clients, I'll make sure your move is the right one. Let's turn your real estate goals into reality. Call or text me today at 270-231-1576. And always remember, close with Clark.
Support your school with the German-American School Spirit Check Card. With each purchase you make using the card, we make a donation to your participating school of choice. So far, through our School Spirit Card program, we've given back over $300,000 to community schools. Stop in your local German-American bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit Check Card today. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Let's get back to the rundown and break down all of the red and black action.
Sending it back to Mr. B's with your host Dan Bartlett.
It's the Red Devil Rundown.
Welcome back to the Red Devil Rundown here. We're in segment number 2, and we're going to talk a little state titles going on here as we had a lot of action going on. Let me turn that music down just a little bit so I can hear. There we go. Sometimes it just gets a little too loud out there and you can't hear anything. But I want to talk a little bit girls indoor track because we've got some athletes at Owensboro High School, and they were able to compete at the state level. We've got swimming. We've already talked about Ethan Lippert. He was able to go all the way up, had a strong finish there for our swimming team. I wanted to have him on tonight's show. Unfortunately, he is on his way to the USA swimming meet, right, the state swimming meet right now. So listen, congratulations to him. We already kind of highlighted that. We also talked a little bit last week, just briefly, what the girls indoor track did. And joining me right now is head coach Matt Morris there, and we've got an athlete here that was joining Fatima here who went to the state level. And I'm telling you what, you came on the show probably about a month ago before you guys you were getting ready for regionals, kind of getting ready to go up to the state meet there, and you were talking about how the girls, they called their shot, they wanted to break the school record, okay? Not only, let me get you unmuted there, not only did they break their record, they broke their own record the following week, and then they go to the state meet. Did they break it again at the state?
They did break it again at state.
Okay, so you talk about continuing to get better. Coach, talk about the performance that these girls did.
So we get up to the state meet, and I mean, we'd practice and practice and practice, and they were locked in. They were ready to roll. And you know, they jumped on the track for the 4x2, and you know, they ran the race. You know, I was a at first I was a little disappointed because I felt like we didn't finish where we should have. We should have finished a little higher, but then they were like, Coach, we broke the record again. I was like, well, I can't be mad at that.
How are you going to be disappointed when they broke their record? That's like saying, good job, but you can do better.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. I was like, well, I feel kind of silly kind of telling y'all all the things you did wrong. You still broke the record, but we can, so now
that's got to be tough. That's got to be tough. They got more in them. And let's break it down a little bit. Let's talk about the high jump. Talk about the high jump there because we had an athlete there in the top 5. Talk to me about that.
So Nakaya Voiles, she's been kind of a rock in high jump for the last several years. The last couple of years, she's just a sophomore, so she's still got a way to go. Yeah. She's still got a way to go. So she goes out and she gets her spot and she starts jumping and jumping and jumping, and we're like, okay, she's doing pretty good. And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm in the top 5. I was like, awesome. Because at the state meet, I can't get on the infield to actually do anything. I can't.
So you're almost a spectator at that point.
Yeah, for whatever reason, KHSA, and I hope they're listening,
Let me turn you up. Let's see if they're listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. When we get to the state level of competition or the regional level of competition, they take the coaches out of it. I was like, we don't do that with any other sport. Why are we taking the coaches out? We're on the sideline, but we can't go to the events or anything. But yeah, she finished top 5. I think she cleared 5 foot.
5 foot is what she cleared. 5 foot with a top 5 finish at state.
Yeah.
It's just every time I turn around, I'm seeing her name on something.
Listen, she's an absolute beast on the track too, and she's part of that 4x2 team. She is actually this weekend in Virginia Beach at the Adidas Nationals.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. You're right. And so you've got the top 5 finish at state there for high jump. Let's move on to Klein. Talk about what she's done right there, because all she's done will just continue to improve and improve and improve. Talk about her school record, 400 dash.
So 400 dash, she jumps into blocks and she goes, she had previously, right after we were on the show, she broke the record. And then she did it again at state. She goes out, she throws down another awesome time, and just an incredible athlete. She's living her best life, just being back from injury, and now she's kind of reminding everybody what was missing last year on her team. And she really pulls the team together because she's just such a hard worker.
Yeah. And then you've got this record-breaking 4x200 that cannot settle. They just want to keep breaking records after records, their own records or school records. And for the 3rd time this season, improved the school record. They finished 8th in the state. Talk about just how much pride you've got in this 4x200 relay.
Listen, they're just an awesome group. They're looking forward to outdoor season because they think they can go after the outdoor record, which is actually a much higher, a much stronger number. And if they go after it, they're.
So why is that? Because that's a shocker to me. Why is the indoor number a easier number to get than the outdoor one?
So
what makes that harder?
Indoor, the track is banked.
Okay.
And then it's also a 200-meter track with really tight turns. Where outdoor, it's a 400-meter flat track. So they can just keep that momentum better. And you're not turning as much. Anytime you're turning in track, you're losing a little bit of speed. Straightaway speed's a lot faster than turn speed.
Okay.
So when they're on the indoor track, they're constantly turning. They're fighting, basic momentum because they're drifting up the track a little bit. Things like that. So they're having to fight to stay just in the lane. Whereas when you get to outdoor, you can just kind of let that stride go.
Okay, I know you're confused. You're like, listen, you're surprised that I don't know that, okay? A pure runner like myself in top physical shape, you're probably like, why didn't he know that, okay? I'm sorry to let you down. I didn't disappoint you there. I was curious. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's wild to think about and just how much of a difference it makes. But also, when you start talking about indoor versus outdoor, back when they set the outdoor record, you're talking about setting it in May, lots of training. Indoor records typically, sometimes you don't have your best team out because they may be doing another sport.
Okay.
You may have some basketball players that are coming out that are feeding into the team, and at that point they definitely, the girls that set that, which includes Coach Brittany.
Outdoor track's probably a little more well-attended, you're thinking?
It's more well-attended, and it's more readily available.
Got it.
The nearest indoor track facility to us is Louisville.
So you got to put some distance in to get there.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But this 400-200 relay, or the 4x200 relay, has been impressive. And so where do you, as you're getting ready to go to the outdoor track, what are these girls, how do you prepare them to get ready to go from indoor to outdoor?
So, I mean, a lot of it is just continuing our training program. We've got a 16 to 17 week training program that just progresses and progresses and progresses. Obviously, we've kind of tailored that a little bit to their indoor performances as well. But as we get to outdoor season, we're going to continue to get stronger in those races because we'll have more fitness and more races under us and just have those legs under us. But then also as we continue, we'll start working handoffs a lot more and things like that.
Got it.
When we get that cleared up, that brings a ton of speed because the baton then never slows down.
So you've got at the state meet, you've got the high jump, you've got the 400 dash, you got the 4x200, and then you also competed in the 4x800, and you've got an athlete sitting right next to you that competed in that. Fatima was there to race that. Talk about what it is to have your best finish. Finished 14th in the state of Kentucky in there. You got to be proud of yourself on that one.
I very am. I feel like we improved a lot from last year. Like in indoor last year, we only ran one meet, and it was not the greatest.
Okay.
I'd say we had a lot of work to do. We ran once in January, like mid-January, and then we didn't run the 4x8 until like later on into state, right? Yeah, and then we dropped a huge PR.
It's that much of a difference. So it's only run a couple times, and you got to go state run it the next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty quick turnaround.
I see that.
They dug in because this, for indoor season, it's like January 4th to basically March 4th.
Okay.
It's
very short season then.
Yeah, it's a super short season for us.
Okay. Well, so as you're getting ready to go to outdoor track, well, first of all, we're wondering probably where the athletes are. I mean, I know we're talking about it, but no one wants to hear from me. No offense, but you're okay. They don't want to hear from you. They're asking, where are the athletes at? So where are the girls right now?
So, obviously, I mentioned Nakia earlier, but Nakia, Voiles, Jaslyn Douglas, and Kamora Duncan, they're all actually headed to Adidas Nationals at Virginia Beach. Their performances through the indoor season got them qualified for this national meet, so they're taking that opportunity. They're running unattached from Owensboro this weekend, but we're super.
They're
excited.
still Red Devils. They're still Red Devils down there.
Absolutely, yeah. They're still representing us. They just can't represent us in Jersey. But
I got it.
They are. They've got this incredible opportunity. They asked, they set that goal back in September. They were like, hey, we really want to do a national meet. I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's look at the ones available. And Adidas was, kind of the closer of the three because New Balance Nationals is up in Boston and Nike Nationals is up in New York. So, I was like, all right, let's look at Virginia Beach. Let's kind of mark that one. So they just kept grinding. They kept working toward it, and that they're on the road. They'll actually compete midday tomorrow in the 60 dash. I think Jazz runs tomorrow evening in the 200, and then the high jump is Saturday midday.
Make sure that information gets back to me because we'll report it on next week's show as you guys are wrapping up because I believe indoor track's done now, right?
Indoor track's done.
We're moving to the outdoor track.
We had a meet last weekend outdoor.
Okay.
We were at the Colonel Classic, so yeah.
I like it. Make sure that stuff gets back to me so we can report on the Red Devil Rundown. Congratulations on a great season outdoor track, getting ready for, indoor track as you get ready for outdoor track. We're going to have the boys and girls outdoor track take over the Red Devil Rundown. I believe it's early April we got it scheduled for. And so we're going to have you guys come on this show here, and we're going to talk nothing but outdoor track for boys and girls. And I cannot wait because we've got so many talented athletes that we're going to put on this show during that one. So
yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome show.
Well, good. Congratulations, Fatima. Great job there on your state performance there. Look forward to seeing you on the outdoor track. And, Coach, keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
Guys, that's going to wrap up segment 2. When we come back, we're going to talk a little wrestling on the state level. We'll be right back here on the Red Devil Rundown.
Want to stand out with bold custom gear? Say hello to KB Designs, your local pros in screen printing, embroidery, and custom hats that pop. From eye-catching team tees to sharp polos and one-of-a-kind hats, we bring your vision to life using the latest tech and top-quality materials. Fast, affordable, built to last. Whether you're a business, school, or sports team, KB Designs helps you wear it proud. Call today for a free quote at 270-929-7719. Visit us on Facebook at KB Designs, where your vision meets our craft. Stand out, wear it proud with KB Designs.
Something doesn't sound right.
How do you know?
My daddy always said you know a bad sound when you hear it.
That makes sense. Yep, that sounds bad.
No, not that.
Hey, your car sounds funny.
My hero.
Stop in Mattingly's Automotive Shop.
Let the technicians help diagnose the sounds coming from your vehicle with tune-ups, tire repair, and more. Mattingly's Automotive is here to help. Give them a call at 683-4251 or stop in 2405 Beach Road.
Ride with Champion.
Hi, this is Duke Brubaker from Champion Ford Mazda in Owensboro, and it's that time of year for our annual Taking Out the Trash sales event. Push, pull, or drag your old ride to Champion and get $2,500 off our pre-owned MVP deals or any new 2025 or 2026 Ford or Mazda car, truck, or SUV. That's right, we increased our offer to $2,500 this year, so don't delay. Take advantage of this great deal plus outstanding MVP deals on pre-owned and factory incentives on new vehicles. Shop on the lot or online at championowensboro.com.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Support your school with the German-American School Spirit Check Card. With each purchase you make using the card, we make a donation to your participating school of choice. So far, through our School Spirit Card program, we've given back over $300,000 to community schools. Stop in your local German-American bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit Check Card today. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Kentron Manufacturing is hiring. We're looking for entry-level associates who are dedicated and drug-free. In business over 50 years, we offer insurance, paid holidays, vacation, and a clean, controlled environment. Apply in person at 610 Industrial Drive. Kentron is an equal opportunity employer.
If you're looking for the perfect place to eat, drink, and have a blast, head to Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Owensboro. Dive into hot, fresh-made pizzas, bowl wings, and all your favorite game day classics. And now take the fun even further at Club 18 Golf, the indoor golf experience right inside Mr. B's. Bring your friends, book a bay, and swing through world-famous courses while enjoying great food and cold drinks. It's the ultimate night out with great eats, great swings, all under one roof. Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Club 18 Golf, right on Highland Point Drive, where Owensboro comes to play.
Let's get back to the rundown and break down all of the red and black action.
Sending it back to Mr. B's with your host Dan Bartlett.
It's the Red Devil Rundown.
Welcome back to the Red Devil Rundown. We're going to continue to talk a little about some state action, but we're going to move over to the wrestling mat and talk to Coach Griffin Kelly and the outstanding junior Cam Klein as he made it all the way, basically one of the 4th wrestlers ever in OHS history to make it that far. An outstanding season. Coach Kelly, just talk a little bit about what this young man, Cam Klein, has done this season and just how much effort he's put on the mat this season.
Yeah, Dan, thank you again for having us tonight. It's always great to hear Mr. B's, but Cam he's worked so hard and couldn't be more proud of him. This year he just worked his tail off. He put together a season. His record was about 45-4. That's a phenomenal season. He had almost 50 matches in a season, and he made a really deep run to the state tournament. He's only the 4th wrestler in Owensboro High School history to advance to the second day. So we're really excited about that as well. And just, he was a model student athlete for us, a really good leader, and we're excited. He's only a junior, so we're back again next year as a senior. That's the exciting things off there because just the potential that he has, and like we're talking like he's not sitting here right in the middle with us, but it's got to feel good to hear your name like that and just all the work you put into it because you went into regionals, my friend. Cam, you were undefeated. I believe you were 40-0 if I'm not mistaken, going into regionals. Talk a bit about just kind of taking that, I don't want to call it pressure, but you were walking into matches and just having your way with some people out there. And talk about as the competition got a little harder in there, you got to regionals, you suffer your first loss there. Talk about what it was like to kind of take that first loss there and then work your way back to kind of get back to state contention there.
Going into the regional tournament, I could definitely feel the pressure, and I was extremely nervous. First match, we went through the first match pretty easy. Second match, I ended up going against a kid from Union County. It was a battle. I was exhausted. I remember there was I was down by a point, and there was 12 seconds left, and I had nothing in me. I look over. I just see my team just all yelling, and I give it my all, and I'm able to get a locked hands call, so I ended up getting the point. We go into overtime. My body's aching. I'm fatigued. We start. He shoots in on me, and I try to scramble. I still have his ankle. I never gave up the fight, but the ref called something, and I was a little confused. I thought we were still going, but they ended up giving it to him.
It is what it is. I've lived in this area now for about 3 years, and I've learned something really quick. Union County has a wrestling program out there. They've got some athletes out there. So for you to go up there and compete with them out there, it's just congratulations to you. And then not only that you were able to compete at regionals, you got to go to states. Talk about what it was to head to states and compete at that level and represent the Red Devils there.
Going into state for the third time, it was I was excited this time. The first time you're nervous. The second time it's all right, this is the first, the first time I actually get to try to go out and compete, do better. So going in for the third time, I was a little bit more confident than my last two, and I was just my goal is to do better than I did last time. So it was excited. I was excited.
You don't think about that because a lot of people don't realize that it's the bright lights that get you. You go to it the first time. So this is your third time going there. You go the first time, the bright lights kind of get you a little bit. It does with a lot of people. You get on that stage, and sometimes being a young athlete, it can play a toll on you. And then you get that little nerves in you. And then the second year, maybe you go out there and you kind of get the little rust out there. You're still getting a little shocked a little bit, but you're able to compete a little bit. Then the third year is a little bit different, and you're right. You've got that confidence going in. You've been there before. You know what you can do, and you go out and compete. Talk about how it worked out for you. I know that you I believe, if I remember correctly, you lost your first match at state, and then you had to battle your way back. Talk about that battle.
So after losing my first match, I was very in my head. I lost a person I wasn't supposed to lose to. In a way, let's say a way that I've only lost once my whole time wrestling. And so, I wanted everything back. I'm not going to lose. People are looking at me. A lot of people look at me, especially from around our area, and they're just oh, when I lose, they're oh, he lost, because I was undefeated. So I was just I don't want people to look at me oh, I lost to this person, I'm not good. So coming back, I just dominated my way through all the way up to my very last match, my placement match. This was the match, if I won, I would have placed, and lost 8-9. Gave it my all, though, but again, it all comes down to what the refs want to call it at times.
Well, that's nothing to drop your head on at all. And I know Coach Kelly's over there shaking his agreement over there. You had a great season. And it's one of those sports, we talked about the last time you were on here about a month or two ago. We talked about how difficult in the mind game it is to be a wrestler. Okay, because when things go awry, who do you have to blame out there? There's no one really to look like. If you're playing baseball and your teammate drops the ball, you're like, oh, man, yeah, he didn't have it out there. Or you're on the offensive line on a football team and maybe the left tackle misses a block out there. When you're a wrestler, it's just you out there. And so you've got to muster up the strength when you don't have anything left in the tank out there. You talked about that. And when you lose to someone who maybe you shouldn't have lost to, in your words, you've got to be able to come back even stronger and say, listen, this one's on me. And I got to come back and fight. And that's what Coach was so proud of you, because whenever I got the text from him, he's saying, listen, he fought his way back after dropping down the first one. And talk a little bit about kind of your relationship with Coach here and how much he's an encouragement to you in your journey.
So first time ever doing a sport was he was my first coach, and he's actually been my main and not only coach, of course, Coach Hall, our track coaches, but going in, my very first sport was wrestling. He was my wrestling coach. Next I do long distance for track. He's my long distance track coach. Come back over the summer and starting sophomore year, he's my cross country coach. We just do it all over.
You can't get rid of the man.
No, he can't get rid of me. We're always together.
Oh my
just
goodness,
like
he can't get rid of me. That's funny.
We put a lot of miles on the road together.
All my experience, he's taught me everything I know. He has taught me everything I know, or he's led me to learn everything I know.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And that's the bond that you're going to have. And listen, you're going to call that man coach for the rest of his life. He'll be 60 years old walking through the supermarket, and he's going to hear coach being out there. And that's why he does what he does right there. Okay, it's great right now, but when he hears his name coach yelled 50 years from now, that's what he's going to love right there the most right there. That's why he does it. That's why most coaches do it, because they love spending time with the young athletes like yourself out there. Guys, listen, congratulations on a great season. What did you learn most about this season? Because that's your junior season. Now you got one left as a senior. What are you going to take? What did you learn most from this season to take to your senior season next year?
Don't be upset. Don't be in your head. You're here because you enjoy it. You know, you do this because you love it. No other reason. So don't be in your head about a loss. Also, it's just, you know, just go out there and wrestle. Don't be upset because of a loss. And I also just realized there's a lot I need to learn. Like a whole bunch more I need to learn. So
you can always learn more.
Absolutely.
That's the wisest thing you can get right there. You can always learn more. And I don't care how good you are. You could be 40-0 heading into regionals, and you can still learn more. And listen, that's impressive. That's absolutely impressive, not suffering a loss. And the coach talked about that. I mean, there's not a lot of athletes that go undefeated. You may have some sprinkled here and there, but you don't have many undefeated athletes out there.
Right. I mean, he walked around with so much. It's a lot of weight, a whole bunch of weight on his shoulders, and he carried it really, really well, exceptionally well. You know, better than anybody else that could in his shoes. Moreover, he's gained a ton of maturity this season. He's super grounded. You know, at 17 years old, I know I definitely wasn't as grounded as he is.
No, sir.
You know, we'll have conversations when we're logging miles for whatever activity, but he'll talk about, you know, coach, you know, things that are out of my control, I just got to let it go. And there's a lot of clarity, and overall I couldn't be more pleased and more proud of him. And he's developing. We're getting better and better, and he's just so much fun and awesome to work with.
Well, Cam, congratulations. You represented the Red Devils well at state. You are the fourth person in OHS history to advance that far in the state tournament, and I think you're hungry for more, and I'm looking forward to what you are going to do next year as Coach continues to push you, and most importantly, you continue to push yourself heading into that senior year. So job well done, my friend. Guys, hey, listen, by the way, I talked about this off the air. I just got back from Iowa, okay? We went out there from the robotics tournament.
Yes,
I went out with OIA, and I texted you when I was out there. The wrestling facility that I laid my eyes on in Council Bluff, Iowa, good grief, was it huge. You talk about some facilities out there. They take a lot of pride in the wrestling. Not to mention, they had all kinds of sporting venues out there, but this was held inside this wrestling place. You're talking about mats everywhere. A lot of money out there in Iowa wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
It was impressive. So much I pulled out my phone. I'm like, you got to see this. This is incredible out there, but it was really cool. Guys, congratulations. We're going to end the segment there talking about wrestling, and when we come back, have you ever wondered what a state championship football coach does in the offseason? We're going to talk about that right when we come back on the Red Devil Rundown.
When you're looking for the perfect place to eat, drink, and have a blast, head to Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Owensboro. Dive into hot, fresh-made pizzas, bowl wings, and all your favorite game day classics. And now, take the fun even further at Club 18 Golf, the indoor golf experience right inside Mr. B's. Bring your friends, book a bay, and swing through world-famous courses while enjoying great food and cold drinks. It's the ultimate night out with great eats, great swings, all under one roof. Mr. B's Pizza and Wings in Club 18 Golf, right on Highland Point Drive, where Owensboro comes to play.
Hi, I'm Zach Chow, Madisonville Maroon and current Kentucky Wildcat basketball player.
And I'm Chris Rhodes, injury attorney.
Growing up in Madisonville, I dreamed about playing in Rupp Arena, but I didn't get recruited, didn't have guarantees, but I kept showing up.
A lot of our injured clients feel that same way, trying to push forward, feeling like everything is stacked against them.
But when people believe in you, everything changes.
That's what we do here. We stand beside you every step of the way.
Roads and Roads.
We've got your back.
Did you know March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month? Here is Owensboro Health's Dr. Stephen Eds.
Did you know that colorectal cancer is one of the most preventable and most treatable types of cancer when it's caught early? Unfortunately, nearly 1 in 3 adults age 45 and older in the United States is not up to date on colorectal cancer screening. At Owensboro Health, we're here to make screening easy and accessible. If you're due for a colorectal cancer screening, talk with your primary care provider.
Learn more at owensborohealth.org/colon cancer.
Hey y'all, it's Kelly Ann Harris with the Harris Group at Keller Williams Elite Realty. As a proud sports mom, I know what it takes to show up, stay focused, and deliver results on the field and in real estate. That's why we're offering our Guaranteed Cash Offer program. We guarantee to get your home sold or we'll buy it. For all your real estate needs, trust the Harris Group. We're always ready to go to work for you. Call us today at 270-929-5857 for the details.
Hi, I'm Zachary Clark with the Greater Owensboro Realty Company. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading to your dream space, or selling and looking for the right price, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. With proven results, local market knowledge, and real commitment to my clients, I'll make sure your move is the right one. Let's turn your real estate goals into reality. Call or text me today at 270-231-1576. And always remember, close with Clark.
Support your school with the German-American School Spirit Check Card. With each purchase you make using the card, we make a donation to your participating school of choice. So far, through our School Spirit Card program, we've given back over $300,000 to community schools. Stop in your local German-American bank office, open a checking account, and request your free School Spirit Check Card today. Visit GermanAmerican.com for a list of participating schools. German American Bank, member FDIC.
Let's get back to the rundown and break down all of the red and black action. Sending it back to Mr. B's with your host Dan Bartlett. It's the Red Devil Rundown.
Welcome back to the Red Devil Rundown, our last segment of the night. How are we going to finish it? Well, let's bring on head football coach DeMarcus Ganaway as we talk a little bit about what a football coach does after winning a state championship. You just kick back on the recliner and put your feet up, my friend?
No, not at all.
I had a feeling that was coming. What have you been up to?
Man, nothing much, man. Kind of just continuing to plan, get everything in process and in motion for us to go ahead and get started once, this spring season is over.
Yeah.
School ends and we get into the summer. So I'm not going to say like we've kind of been coasting, like we've been putting in the work, but then also too there's been some detail into, the process of what we're trying to build and come back to.
Let's talk about the I don't know if you want to call it the excitement of winning a state championship. Is it still there with the boys, or was that last year and now we moved on to this year?
I think it was there up until a point in January. And
okay.
Then, then the boys had to kind of transition into other sports.
Got it.
Get back acclimated into other things that were going on in their lives or sports that were getting ready to come up and start training. So the focus kind of shifts quickly, but the excitement is definitely still there. And with that excitement is like the expectation. Like they can't wait to come back. We can't wait to have them. Yeah, we can't wait to have them back.
But here's the thing. The wheels are already turning. For those that are not involved in other sports, you're weightlifting, right?
Yes.
You're doing some conditioning with them. Talk a little bit about how that works in the offseason, what an offseason for high school football looks like.
Well, this offseason's been kind of unique for me, man. Like we have a ton of our athletes playing other sports.
Yes.
Whether it be our track team, baseball, and lacrosse. So between those three sports, like, 90% of our football team is playing another sport and in season, so we only get them limited amount of time, and that's in school weightlifting with Coach Roberts. So what I have right now is an after-school weightlifting program, and I have about 20 guys that are even available, and they come every day. They don't play another sport. The lacrosse boys show up here and there, but we're just continually putting in the work and building the back half of our team right now.
I'm getting some videos and some images of some weightlifting out there, and I'm seeing some young boys out there putting some weights up, okay?
Man.
And I'm excited. I'm excited because, yes, we may be young next year in some areas.
Yeah.
We got some talent coming up.
Yes.
We have some talent. Talk a little bit about kind of your relationship with Coach Brown there on the middle school level and seeing how he develops these players, especially strength-wise, getting them ready for your program at the high school level.
Man, I don't think you could say enough. During the season, we talked about Coach Brown and the things that he's doing at the middle school level and why they have the continued success that they have in being like a backbone of the high school program. I'm going to tell you, it starts in the weight room. I see it every day. I teach at the middle school. I'm right across from the gym, and the weight room is above the gym, so all those boys come through, and I see them every day, and I go to their class. And when I say it's an environment that makes you want to work, and they're energetic, they love working out, and they're having a great time with it.
And that's his leadership right there.
Exactly.
You got a commander at that level, and it's phenomenal because when you get that, you start them at that level. So then their expectation increases a little bit when they get to your level. They're already expecting what you're on, so you can build upon that, man. It's incredible to have that built in.
It's fantastic, man. And they're competing in there. That's the thing, too. Like, everybody talks about Gavin Walker or Deegan Howard, but there's some kids in there, man, who are, stronger, also, too, competing and just as well-known within the program as some of those other guys. But, man, like, I just think from top to bottom, they're crushing it.
So talk about it as we get ready for next season. I know the football schedule for next season has already come out, correct?
Yes.
We've already got that schedule there. How do you, and obviously I love the way the Red Devils open up their season because we don't shy away from anybody.
No.
I mean, you're starting games against, I believe we got Colligan, you got St. X out there. Yep. So you've got some powerhouse you're going up against.
Yep.
As the defending 5A state champions, and how do you prepare them? Because yes, when that season starts, it's a new season. Okay, last year was state champions. It's a new season going into it. How are you getting them prepared at this level, this early in the season, even in the off season for that schedule?
Well, I think for us right now, we still got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
The way the season started last year still has a bitter taste in our boys' mouth, and I think that's kind of the fuel as to what they expect to come back to, and they know we're more prepared now. We're in a good situation. We're very confident in what we have coming back, and they want to show, last year at the beginning of the season that it was kind of like we just weren't ready or we were still figuring some things out. So we want to hit the ground running this year, of course being, state champs from last season.
So let me ask you another question. Okay, when you're state champions, you get a little hardware. Okay.
Yeah.
Are the kids excited about receiving this thing? And do you kind of know about when they're coming in? And do you have any big plans for them?
Listen, I've had boys asking me every week when the rings come in. From the beginning, I told them it'd be after spring break.
Okay.
I'm starting to get details now on when that delivery will be. We're going to put together like a nice little ring ceremony.
Oh, I love it.
Try to make it as special as possible and have some fun with it for that last moment before we lock that away and move on to the next one.
I don't think you need to lock it away. I just think you need to cherish it up there. I'm telling you, every time I walk in that gymnasium, when I called basketball games for the Red Devils, and my table's sitting right underneath that championship banner, it's a little pride.
I look at it every time.
It's pride when you see that.
Yep.
Especially being your first year at the helm there. I mean, that's something that's very unique. Not a lot of coaches get to experience coaching for 25, 30 years, and you get it your first year at the helm. It's just an awesome program to be a part of.
It's definitely special, man. I take a peek at it every time I walk in the gym. And then, taking a peek at that, you see all the other history that the school has in the tradition of excellence. And just that, like we say, that pride and expectation is still there. And right now it's running high for us. And we want to capitalize on that with the momentum we have.
So as you as a coach, year one's down. I don't think it can go any better than what it did. Mm-hmm. Okay, so year one's down. How do you improve as the coach of the Red Devils to make this an even better program? What are you going to do to kind of take that step up? What even work? What ways can you improve as a coach and as a leader of that team?
Well, for me, it's continuing to dive deeper into the relationships and the little fine details within our program. I think we've shown that we can adapt. We're going to put the best product out on the field every week and not give any favors or it be in situations like that. Mm-hmm. But I think it all starts with continue to dive into relationships, man. Like when I first got here, it was just straight to football. And
it was in a hurry because you got here in a hurry, and it was feet running. I mean, you got out of the car and you were running.
Yeah, and I told the boys the way you was going to build a relationship with me was to give me what you got, and we talk about it and get going from there. And that, of course, ended up expanding over the course of the season. But now that we're off season, I try to reach out to the guys, man, talk to them and see what they got going on. They're really busy with other sports, so I try not to impede on those things, but just try to keep up and build those relationships even deeper. But when they come back, it's just going to be compounding on the relationships that we have, the bond that they built together, and the leadership we lost. That's my challenge right now.
Okay.
Is we're going to have to see who our real leaders are going to be, and that's a big challenge for them. And those are the guys that I get to really kind of mold and grow and see how they develop and what this team looks like from that.
With the loss of some leaders on there, when do you start challenging those guys to step up? Has it already begun?
It's already begun. Mm-hmm.
So you got some leaders in mind. They're going to kind of take that role out there.
Yep.
We won't talk about that until next season, but it's nice to know that you've got guys in mind that they're going to fill that mold out there, and you're already kind of nudging in that way because you don't want to do it for them. No. They got to do it for themselves, but you're going to be the one to nudge them on the way.
Exactly. Yeah. And we had some great representation of what great leadership looks like.
Yes,
this
we did.
past season. So,
yes, we did.
I don't want those guys to think that they got to make their own mark. Of course, you're going to make your own mark because you're unique and different in your own way already. But with what we have put together from leadership and coaching into how we deal with the players and how they respond, I think we got a great brand of identity, what we what we want to do to accomplish some great things.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's switch the gears for a second here, because I know that we've got a lot of talent at the Red Devil facility there. We've got a lot of players on there. But I've noticed, and maybe it is because when you win a state title, you get a little more acknowledgement out there, and people start turning their heads a little bit. But the amount of offers that our students are getting, our athletes are getting, do you have anything to do with that? Are you putting them out there? Are you helping out get their name out there at all? But because the amount of offers that Ty Ashley was getting, and obviously he settled on UK, but some of our other boys out there, I mean, as a head coach, are you promoting the kids out there? How does that work on a high school level?
Yeah, you just do what you got, what you can. Recruiting is different every year.
Yeah.
And one of my philosophies is at least starting the off season with reaching out to guys that I already have relationships with. And then also, too, using the contacts with some of the guys that I have to get in and talk to other coaches and present, our boys and what they can do, and see what we can go, where we can go from there. And you talk about Coach Brown. Coach Brown had a huge hand in getting us to the coaching staff at Troy. And then Troy came in and offered 5 guys. And then, Nick Locker with Hawaii that Trey Shimwell just got. Those are relationships that have been had through, Coach Brown with Wesleyan and myself, and then Nick with being here and having a relationship with him.
It's all about those circles. It's crazy.
It really is. But that has helped us get conversations with other coaches at all levels about our boys.
Some of the programs that have stepped foot on OHS to come down and check out some of the talent has been impressive.
Oh, man. And you talk about Ty. We had, Wisconsin. We had schools coming here working him out.
That is awesome.
Throughout the winter storm we didn't have school. So
just coming down and listen, I'm glad he picked UK, and it's a great program right there. But yeah, he got some looks from all over the place. And listen, we got some athletes out there. You got Kingston Dillard starting to get some offers already coming in, so it's excited to see that. But man, it's just there's some talent out there. I'm glad they're getting recognized, especially in Owensboro, Kentucky, that we've got some athletes that are going to compete at that level.
Yep, 100%.
So it's been cool to see. Well, Coach, man, I know you got a lot going on. I know this is the off season, but football does not rest.
Never.
You go back 20 years ago, maybe you had a little time off. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not the way things are happening on there, the conditioning that goes into it, getting everything ready. And it's a full-time job all year long, and you put the time in, and you got the ultimate prize next year, and I know that you're not satisfied. You want one more.
Oh, man.
It's always one more.
Man, want nothing more than to go back to say we went back-to-back and continuing from there. There's some programs around the state who have done that, so I've been taking some ideas and blueprints from them.
Okay.
But, we're trying to do what we can day by day.
Well, I'm excited. In fact, I can't wait for next August to roll around to get back on the radio to call some games. But I have to admit, as much as I loved calling football out there and getting to go to Rupp Arena with you guys, I do love calling baseball.
Oh,
and
really?
It's baseball season, and I'll be on the mic next week as we go. The Red Devils will be playing a game. I think I'm going to McLean County.
Okay.
And I may have Drew Johnson and Carter Vanover. They're wanting to call baseball with me.
Good.
Okay?
They did some basketball with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reluctantly, I said yes. Okay. It was very entertaining, to say the least.
Yeah.
And now they're getting comfortable on the mic. So I'm really worried what's going to happen when I put them on baseball with me.
You should be worried.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I do love calling baseball, and it's going to be incredible to do it for the Red Devils. And I look forward to calling football back in the fall. But it's just been a fun time, and we'll get the coaches show back here. Well, my plan is to take the Red Devil Rundown in the fall, and because football just takes up a lot of time, and it should, we're going to go ahead and probably have the first half. The Red Devil Rundown will be on football, and then we'll highlight some of the sports in the fall, like soccer, cross-country, golf. And there's a lot of athletes that need to be praised out there and be recognized, and we're going to do that because football is great, but we got a lot of programs at the Red Devils that want to recognize.
Exactly, and you're doing a great job with it, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man. The Red Devil Rundown has been a huge success, and I could not thank Mr. Bees enough. Mr. Bees has been absolutely awesome to host us out here every Thursday, whether we have a small crowd like tonight as we just talk about some state titles and some state championships up there, or we have a huge crowd. Speaking of huge crowd, next week as we get ready to end this show here, I've got to talk to you about this here as we are going to recognize, we are going to honor the legendary Coach Rod Drake as he announced his retirement. 25 years he has been with the Red Devil program there, with a state championship as a player and a state championship as a coach. We are going to spend the entire episode next week right here at Mr. B's as we honor Coach Rod Drake. You are not going to want to miss what we have planned for that show. It is going to be incredible. Guys, catch us next week on WVJS as we get into some baseball and some softball. But tonight you heard a lot of stuff from wrestling, from swimming, and from our girls' indoor track, and, of course, Coach Ganaway. Guys, that's it from the Red Devil Rundown. We will see you later, and go Devils!
Yeah, listen, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm saying you've been listening to the Red Devil Rundown, brought to you by Mr. B's. That's right. Your go-to for the best pizza and wings. Remember your home for the Owensboro Red Devils. It's 92.9, 93.3 WVJS. And we out of here.